Hello everybody, happy Friday and welcome at the Illustrator Creative Challenge here at Adobe Live. I can see so many wonderful people already saying hello and saying happy weekend in the chat. Andrea Soller, nice to see you. Andre, Christelle, Michelle, Steve, ciao, how's it going? Jack Watson, Golden Rose, Susan Wilson, I want to name you all. Andre, let me scroll back to see whoever joined first. Of course, we do have our lovely Wade Acuff in the chat. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled for any post that Wade does, because he will share very many useful clickable links in the chat. Christelle, Adri, George, Angela, nice to see you. I want to try to say hi to everybody. Aaron. Perfect. Looks like and Carol, I got everyone that is here from the very beginning, but I can see more people adding up. Cara, you have to go, but you wanted to say hi. Hello, have a happy weekend, happy Friday. Don't worry, this is here as a replay, of course, and let me show you how to do so. Robert, Anastasia, welcome in. And Joe Tierney, a long time no see. It's so fantastic to have you here. Beautiful. Let's jump into my screen. And let's have a look at our useful and wonderful landing page real quick, because we've already been through it during the week, so I'm just going to jump through it. And if you want to have more information, you're always welcome to watch the replays of the previous day. We have here the landing page that will allow you to click on the big blue button to be reminded about the upcoming challenges on Adobe Live. And of course, we are going to unveil the cards every single day. So today we are on challenge number 4, just right here. You can see it. We're going to play with repeat patterns, this very brand new function of Adobe Illustrator. And if you do have an iPad with Illustrator on the iPad on it, go and grab it, because that's going to be a fun challenge to also follow along on the iPad. We're gonna design a set of repeating patterns using this amazing feature. But most importantly, if you wanna follow along right now or in your own time, you can always head back here at this landing page and click on Get Started in order to open up the Dropbox link with the assets. Sorry, it's not a Dropbox, of course, it's a Creative Cloud, because now we share all our documents in the cloud. So you can access the Illustrator repeat patterns artboard, which is the same one that I'm gonna start working with in just a second. While I let you just a few seconds to download the starter file, I'm going to go ahead and also share with you another important part of the challenge, which is our community chat. Once you click on the community chat link, you're going to be transported into our fantastic world of Discord. As you can see, Discord is a very busy, very international hub in which, let me just change side of the screen so you can appreciate all the channels, in which you can share your work and get feedback by the community. We have here some amazing Adobe Live team people, and also, of course, the mentors, Colby City, Jack Watson, Randall, Rocky, Ryan, Sean. So here is a safe space for you to share your work, share your challenges, ask questions, get feedback, share ideas. This is the place to learn safely together. So I'm going to go through in just a second on how to submit your work. We're going to go through that towards the end. So right now, hopefully everybody has downloaded their file. If not, don't worry. You can join later on when you watch the replay, and you can just maybe have a coffee and relax. And by the way, talking about having a coffee, let me know where you're watching from. I'm currently based in Manchester, UK, where I run my design studio, Print My Soul. But I'm always excited to see our international community in chat. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure to head on behance.net/live so I can catch your questions, your comments, and of course, say hi to you in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and see if there is any question right now. Everybody's saying hello. How are you doing? Pedro, Steve, Robert. Nice to see you, Kate. Is the square on her face a sneaky peek about what to do? Oh, I have no idea what that is about. Let me just go ahead and see what's going on. That might be the camera. Let's see. It's probably the camera. Let me see if I can find a quick fix here. I'm going to head back into the main landing to see what's going on. This is definitely a brand new feature that is happening of this square. I never had that before. Let's see how we can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do that for the first time. I'm gonna step back. I'm glad I'm wearing some nice pants. So I'm gonna try and take that off the camera. And I am back, and the square is still there. I don't know, I'm gonna make myself look very small, or maybe take my face off, because I don't know what the square is about. I don't even know if that if it was there from the beginning. It might be. Let me know if anyone does some flash research. I think it's something to do with OBS. Never had that before. Maybe I've done some crazy shortcut. But let's jump into Illustrator, and I'm gonna make myself little so you don't have to be distracted by this little square. And I'm gonna head into my screen here in order to see what is going on. So I'm gonna head here over Illustrator, and we're gonna start working with our patterns. What camera do I have? I have a Sony Alpha camera, and it's always been set at the same. So, but let's try to focus on the work, and maybe if it makes it better, I can just go away real quick and we can just work so we don't get distracted. Let me know. Always fun, whatever. Let's focus on the work for now. So what we're gonna do during this challenge is to work. I say Caroline is saying we will survive just fine. Yes, I'm so sorry. I really had no idea how did I do that. But if you do have any tips, I'm gonna look at the chat to see if we can fix that. Anyway, I'm gonna keep forward with this pattern. Hopefully by now you have downloaded the starter file. As you can see, we have a lovely heart here, which we're gonna use as a starter file for our repeat pattern. Now, before doing so, what I'm gonna do here is to show you how to create a heart. Every time that I show a heart, I have people asking, how do you do that? How do you make a heart in Illustrator? So I'm just giggling at the chat because I can see all the fun comments. In order to create a heart, the first thing that I do is usually select the rectangle tool and then create a rectangle, just like so. And then I'm gonna click on one of the little corner widget and then drag inward in order to create this almost pill shape. And then by holding the Option key on a Mac, that's Alt on Window, I'm gonna drag outside in order to create a copy. And then I'm just gonna simply hover on the bounding box and rotate it. And as you can see, all I have to do here is to simply cross these two little shapes until a heart is coming already out. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see the entire artboard, and I'm going to click and drag in order to select both pills. Now I can already see that this curve of the little pill is already towards the end of the heart, and that's something that we don't want. So I'm just going to go ahead and move it a little bit lower down here, or maybe simply twisting our little shape, so when we select both, we know that the corners are just sharp corners here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select our lovely shape builder tool from the toolbar and click and drag over it. And as you can see, we already have merged the shape and created a new shape with the shape builder and created a heart. Then press on the Option key and in order to enter the erase mode, and click on the shapes that we don't want, and there we go. In 3 steps we created a heart with just 2 rectangles. Here we go. We're probably gonna use that other art in just a second, but before doing so, I want to introduce you to the repeat tool, which is brand new of the version of Illustrator January 2021. So if you want to participate to this challenge, make sure that you update. Oh, hearts in the chat, thank you so much. I love the love. Yes, Anastasia, it's so much easier using shapes. I always recommend, and by the way, go and watch yesterday's stream and yesterday challenge if you want to learn more about how to draw with shapes. Fantastic. So let's finally introduce these amazing repeat options. So I'm going to click on the heart in order to select it, and then head on the object menu, and if you have updated to the January 2021 version, you're going to be able to see the repeat options. If you don't see them, you just need to update your Creative Cloud app, and in particular your Illustrator. Now we have 3 different options. I'm going to try to introduce to each single one of them, starting by the grid. So all you have to do is click on grid and look what happens here. We're already going to have a 4 by 2, so 4 columns and 2 row grid generated in just one click. And that doesn't finish there, because not only we have already created a repeat grid of hearts, but we can also move it and move the handle towards the right, which is pretty much created an infinite row of hearts. Or we can do the same with the columns simply by dragging it down, and you can do that as you wish. Now, the most beautiful feature that I think belongs to repeat is that not only you can scale and change your pattern as you go, but you can also enter the isolation mode by double clicking on the pattern, and the original heart will be revealed. Here it is. And if we, for example, change the color of the heart, just like so, you can see that the change will be applied to the entire composition. So I'm going to exit the isolation mode, and you can see that the entire grid has exited. Yes, Larissa, this is a 2021 version feature, and in particular January 2021, because at the very beginning it was introduced into the iPad at Max 2020. So in October 2020 it was introduced first on the iPad, and now on mainly both iPad and Illustrator, which is super cool. Yes, pretty recent. That's why I definitely wanted to give it a shout out. It's such a cool tool, such a cool feature. Another thing that we can do in order to really stretch beyond the opportunities with this grid, because not only we can create a grid, we can edit our works, but look what happens. I'm going to go ahead and actually use this little other heart that were created by selecting on it with the selection tool, and then hold the option key to create a copy. And I'm going to just zoom in and make it smaller so we can actually insert it inside of our heart. So we're going to have a heart with a heart inside. And just to keep everything neat, I'm going to give it a same stroke, which is 3 from the properties panel. Maybe it's a little bit too big. Let's make it 1 point. Fantastic. So I'm going to press Command C to copy this little heart, and I'm going to double click again inside my grid in order to enter the isolation mode. As you can see, we have a bounding box around the original heart, and I'm going to press Command V in order to copy the heart. And look what happens. The path completely changed. That's something that I absolutely love. Look how easy it is to introduce another element into the grid. So all I did is literally copy it. I'm going to just press Command Z to undo so everyone can see. So the heart was right here. All I did is press Command C to copy, double click inside the grid. So as you can see by the bar on top, we have entered the isolation mode, and then press Command V to place, and this new little heart is being placed inside the grid, and we can play with it as much as we want. But what I wanted to do here, I wanted to place the heart on one side of our first heart, because I wanted to show you something very specific that we can also edit inside our grid. I'm going to change its color so it becomes a little bit more visible. And again, as you can see, I do the changes on one and it suddenly gets replicated throughout my pattern. Look how easy it's going to be to create pattern. And of course, I'm just using one shape, but you will be able to use any shape, any drawing you want. So you can do that with very complex illustrations as well. Actually, I might go ahead and open yesterday illustration just to show you the flexibility of this app. Let's have a look if I can quickly grab our yesterday challenge. Let's see if I can make this happen. Here it is. Yes, so that was the illustration that we created yesterday. I'm going to copy it and paste into today's file, and I'm going to do exactly the same. So select it, go under Object, Repeat, and click on Grid. And here it is. We already have a grid, so it doesn't matter if you're just working with one single shape or with a complex illustration. You will still have the ability to edit. So again, double click to edit. Let's say that I want to change this green into a blue, just to make a very noticeable change, and I'm going to click out, and as you can see, the change happens inside there as well. And as we did, we can go ahead and copy our little heart and also pasted it in here, and as you can see, it will be added inside of our illustration. Fantastic. The whole point of this demonstration was to show you that, you know, I'm working with one simple shape, but you can use as many illustrations as you want. And by the way, if you would like to know how to create this little plant, go ahead and check yesterday. I don't have a square on my face either, and you will learn how to create a complex illustration. Claudia, will you come and organize my hard drive to look like yours? Hi, Seth. Nice to see you. Seth, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and check the amazing Seth. Seth, look what happened to me. I just have like a square on my face and I don't know how to get rid of it. It's probably something that I've done with my camera. But anyway, I'm very obsessed with my folders and in my hard drive. So I'm glad that you noticed that. But let's keep going and learn more about these repeat, because we are only just scratching the surface of the amazing thing that we can do with the repeat pattern. Another thing that we can do, and I'm just going to move this little heart away, is to access the options. And you can do so simply by heading to the properties panel. As you know, this is the best place where you can quickly access any options. But for whatever reason, if you prefer to have a floating panel for this tool, you can always add to object, repeat, and make sure that you click on options in order to have the dialog box coming up. So here, one of the coolest thing, and I'm going to really zoom in for you to see, is that you can change the repeat option. So again, we have the grid selected, the grid tab, because we're working on the grid options. We can use the brick by row. So as you can see, and I'm going to zoom out again so you can see the difference. We can have the grid so everything is aligned. Either heart is vertically aligned and horizontal aligned, they're all the same. Or we can have a brick, basically like when you have a building a house where the brick are a little bit offset. So we can have a brick by row, so they're going to change by row, or brick by column, so they're also going to change by column. They're going to be a little bit inverted and offset. Another super cool thing, and the reason why I wanted to add another little feature there of the heart, is that you can flip the rows, or you can flip the look of the column. So you can flip vertical or you can flip horizontal. So you can see that our little heart goes from one side to the other, or you can simply have the hearts moving around just like so, or both if you want to create something a little bit more complex. Fantastic. I'm just going to keep mine like so. I'm going to keep a normal grid, and then I'm just going to invert the heart. So we have just the heart on the other side, and I'm going to click on OK. Now, I want to show you more feature of the grid. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click on this main pattern and press Command C to copy the original heart. And I'm going to move this out of my artboard so we can keep playing with our original heart. I'm going to also delete this little heart, and we're going to explore now another feature of repeat. So select your object and head to repeat. Select your heart or whatever subject illustration you have, click on object, and then under object repeat, let's select radial. This is one of the funnest way of using the repeat tool. And as you can see, the hearts get repeats without radially, so alongside a diameter of a circle. And there are different toggles that you can notice here in terms of options. You can see the number of instances, so how many hearts you want around this corner. So you can have, of course, 1, 2, 3, and then as many as you want. And also you can observe that we have some tools here to see where this starts, where the repetition starts to begin. So if I just want to perhaps to create half of a heart, or maybe full, or maybe just have a gap if you want to create some other part of the illustration, you have total flexibility in doing so. And another important option is this little round that is on top of the diameter, which will allow you to change the diameter itself. So of course, if we perhaps want a larger diameter, we can enlarge it, and then we can also make a larger number of instances. And as you can see, we have a little gap here. So in order to reduce that, all we have to do is to make sure that we take the two edges one next to each other, just like so. Now I'm going to reduce the number of instances and also reduce the number of the size of the diameter for a very specific reason. If you remember, and if you joined these challenges from the very beginning, you probably know that today's topic is, so this 2 weeks topic is spring. So I wanted to show you how you can create a complex form, in this case a flower, just by using these amazing repeat features. So all I have to do here is now to click Command C to repeat. And actually, before doing so, I wanted to show you something even more exciting. You can repeat patterns over and over again. Like, you can get really crazy and exciting. So I'm going to click once on it and then go back on the object and then click on repeat and then radial again. And look what happens. So we have a radial repeats of flowers. repeat it again into a circle, which I think is super cool. And we might be using it in a second once we create our flower to create a garland. Right, so I'm gonna click on it and press Command C to copy and Command F to paste on front. Of course, this is gonna be Control C on a Windows and Control F as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the shortcut Shift and Option, which is Alt on Windows, in order to create a smaller version of the heart. So a smaller version of this repeated radial heart. And I'm gonna double click on it and go to the fill control under appearance to change its color. So I'm just gonna use a yellow color. And then I'm gonna do that one more time, Command C, Command F, and create another smaller one and double click on it. And then change the color maybe to a lighter yellow. Or maybe we can do, let's see which color might work. Let's go ahead with this lovely purple. Fantastic. So the entire idea is that we almost created a flower. All we need to do right now is simply head to our shape tool and then, rectangle tool, click and hold in order to select the ellipse tool. And all we gotta do here maybe is to have a little circle which will sit inside in the middle of our flower. And then go ahead and click on fill and we can make it yellow again. And here it is, we have our flower just ready to go. If you want to make sure that all the strokes are the same, click and drag over the shape, head to the stroke option under the appearance panel in properties, and you can give it the stroke that you wish. And as you can see, the stroke is applied consistently throughout the design. I'm going to zoom in so you can really, really appreciate this lovely flower. And as I said before, if you want to create a flower garland, again, press the Option key in order to and drag to create a copy. Then you can make sure that everything is selected, go under Object, then Repeat, and then Radial. And as you can see, we have created a flower garland in just a second, and all the other options are valid. You can change the number of instances, make it larger or make it smaller, and that's pretty much it. There is another quick things that I wanted to show you, but just imagine how much time saving this technique is. I literally created a garland of flowers just by starting from one heart and then having few clicks. So another amazing feature is, of course, the symmetry with the repeat. So if we head to Object, Repeat, and then Mirror, what you can see is that we have a mirrored version of our design. And as what we did before as well, if we go ahead and edit it, so we create maybe a new heart, or if we change the color of the heart, everything is going to be repeated on the other side, which is going to be mirrored. The controls that are important here are these little dots at the bottom that will allow you to set the angle of the repetition so you can move it around. And then you also want to really take care of the one in the middle, which is going to give you the idea of the distance of the pattern. I really have probably 1 minute, but I want to try to make it happen. So the beauty of this, and I'm actually going to move this away so we can play with the pattern that we have created before. This is going to be really amazing if you're looking to create like a full pattern, because just by, what we did were 2 hearts and then click on repeat. All I have to do here now is to make sure that I fill my little grid. So I start from the very top, and we have our lovely hearts sitting inside the grid, just like so. And if we want, you can make it a little bit smaller. But from here, what we can do is very simply go ahead and click on the rectangle tool and then click and drag to create a rectangle of the same size of our heartboard. Make sure that we give it a none for the fill and none for the stroke. So basically it's transparent, and we bring it to the back. We're using the shortcut Command Shift left bracket. That's Control Shift left bracket. And then make sure to head under Window to bring up your swatches panel. And by doing so, if we click and drag over our shapes and our rectangle and we bring it inside our shapes, look what happened. Now we're going to go ahead and create a new rectangle and make sure that we have our fill selected. We can fill it of our hearts. So we literally created a new brand pattern. And again, if you want, you can also give it a colored background. So let's see if we make it, for example, purple. And now make sure that you drag that back inside your little swatches panel and you can apply it to any shape also with a background. Of course, I will recommend to make some adjustment. It looks like I probably needed to stretch it a little bit more because we have some space here at the side. So I will probably do that a little bit larger, but you know, that's completely up to you. I'm here to show you the fantastic possibilities of this amazing tool. And of course, something else that I wanted to show you is how to share this amazing work that you're going to be creating on Discord. So let's head back on Discord where we have all these other amazing challenges already shared under feedback challenge. Click on the plus icon here after you have saved your design. I'm going to head to my desktop and hopefully I have saved this challenge. If not, let's see if we can. I'm going to quickly export one of these just to show you what we have done here. So in order to export it, Option Command E, select your artboard, make sure that you find a destination folder that is easy to find, and click on Choose and click on Export Artboard. And here it is. Now when we head back to our little Discord, there is the plus icon over here. You can select your artboard and then click on Open, and you can use Challenge 4, or you can ask questions or whatever you want. And here it is. I really look forward to see what you're going to be creating with your challenges. Don't forget to post it also on your Behance and to use the hashtag AI Creative Challenge. I will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Happy Friday and happy weekend, everybody. Bye.